The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, is making the media rounds this week after his big Royal Rumble win this past weekend. Cody Rhodes, of course, got to point to the sign. He's going to WrestleMania, pointing to the WrestleMania Goes Hollywood sign. There was a funny skit while he was doing his rounds. He also stopped by the Bump this week, and there was a funny skit that they did. He was walking through the warehouse, and he was like pointing up to the WrestleMania sign in the warehouse. And then he had a guy following him around with a fog machine. He called him Freddy Fog. That's the newest member of the Nightmare family, apparently. Cody Rhodes, though, making the rounds this week. He was also on After the Bell this week. But it was in this particular clip he was on the ImPaulsive Podcast with Logan Paul. This after he threw Logan Paul's ass over the top rope out to the floor, eliminating him. Cody was on the show talking about his WWE career, talking all about the Royal Rumble, the comeback from the injury. But it was in this particular clip where he was talking about his first run in the WWE. And, of course, we knew this as the dashing Cody Rhodes and the legacy. And then Stardust moved on to the Stardust character, which Cody did not like. And he has never been shy about speaking out about his distaste for the Stardust character. And in this clip, he goes into great detail about the Stardust character and how it caused him to walk out of the WWE, not ask for his release, not be granted his release, not end his contract and see it out, but literally just, fuck you guys, I'm walking, I'm out of here. Check out this clip.
But then they wanted me to do a gimmick, a character like Dustin's, which Goldust is enigmatic, very, depending on if you saw him in 1997, you have a different opinion on how we talk about him today, like envelope pushing, right? That didn't fit for me. And I got some hope along the way where they thought like, okay, it'll be its own thing. It'll be more superhero-like, and I can make that fun. I love comics, and that might be the way to go. And I tried to make the most of it, and kids liked it, and it was fun, and it was very... it was very like a kid's character, and it was like, because it was, my face was painted. It was like wearing a mask too, so I felt like I was at least behind something, but very, very dead inside, very like the sad clown. And I believe so much in the concept, especially because it was true. When I was here at 19, and you did something good, you got rewarded. You did something good, you got rewarded. These little rewards. This was one where I was doing it right. I'm making the most out of this. Is stupid. This is, I'm wearing a trash bag bodysuit. Dustin's got he's just a master painter. I can barely do it. I'm just trying to hang on here. And we were checking those boxes, and they just didn't seem like they were going to get me out of it. And that was where my dad had just passed away. So you have those real problems at home. You don't need any problems at work. And that's where they don't let anyone do this anymore because of how I did it. I handled it poorly, but it was what needed to be done. I just quit. I didn't even sign my release papers. They could probably still sue me today, but I just posted on social, and I very irresponsible. I should have done it differently. I did give him that best heads up. I did.
You put in your 2 weeks?
I had one meeting 2 weeks before, and then I had one meeting in the last week saying, hey, I'm not coming back unless I'm telling the story of getting this off, getting this, and it didn't happen. And
I'm at this Best Western, and I'm sitting in the rental car with Brandy. It's freezing because we were in Scranton. It's freezing. And we were outside the bus. A crew bus was right in front of us and had The Rock and it had the John Cena photo on it from the second Mania. The second. So we've already seen this bus for over a year now. But this story was encompassing really 2 years. This story from the John versus Rock, the saga, and it was wonderful. But when you're on the card, not close to that, and at my level, I had been chipping away a little bit as brass rings here and there, but I hadn't broken through by any means. And I just got so tired of seeing their dang faces. And I loved John. He was my role model in the business. He's a rental car guy with me until he got a bus. But I as much as I did, I just was getting so upset, and I told her, I can't keep looking at the same guys. I can't. I got out the car, and I threw a Yoo-Hoo glass bottle up against beautiful Dwayne Johnson's face there might have been somebody sleeping on this crew bus for all I knew, and shattered everywhere. And I just stared at him like I wanted to fight this giant head on the side of this bus. And I remember telling her, like, you marry a wrestler, you're marrying wrestling. And as bad as this is part of it.
That's a cautionary tale, not advice.
I gotta get this out, and getting it out for me ultimately would lead to me leaving. Was the only way I could get it out. It was pin up for too long. And you never want to lower yourself in front of your beloved, in front of your wife. You never, that was one of the hardest things for me, was being Stardust in front of Brandy. That was rough. When Brandy married Cody Rhodes, he was the Intercontinental Champion. He was wrestling Randy Orton every night, and we were absolutely tearing the joint down. Next thing you know, I'm running around in a space outfit, and trying to make the best of it. But I was very dead inside. And also, to this day, don't know why I was drinking a Yoo-hoo.
I don't blame him, dude. I mean, it was a shit gimmick. He did the best he could with it, and he definitely rocked the character. He put everything he had into that character, even though, as he said, he was lifeless behind it. But he really gave it the old college try. He didn't just suck at it. He was out there doing his cartwheels and fucking doing little. It was fun that he did that at WrestleMania last year with Seth Rollins, even though apparently he had put that into his, I don't know if it's actually in writing in the contract, but during his negotiation to come in, he said he never wants to even hear the name Stardust. But yeah, it caused him to walk out. And it was also funny hearing he threw a bottle of Yoo-hoo at The Rock's face on the side of the truck. Cody's an emotional guy. He took that to heart. He took that very personally. It was a shit gimmick, and he was busting his ass, and he deserved better. The dashing Cody Rhodes gimmick worked. That was a fun character. It was a mid-card character. It was intercontinental level, but he was doing well. He even said in this interview that there were at least once, if not twice, he was talked about being the guy that would get the Money in the Bank contract for the year, but one thing or another would happen and something would change, and he ended up just getting the bone every single time. And he just kind of got to a point where he was fed up, and he was embarrassed, he said, too, of even, having Brandy see him walking around in this clown outfit, So he got to the point like, hey, we're either going to start a storyline where I get out of this character, or I'm just not going to come back. And they were all like, yeah, sure. Of course, yeah. Whatever you say. And dude just didn't come back. And the way that he did things was very smart. He went out there, maybe not smart leaving the WWE the way he did, just walking out. But, he went out there with a plan. He had his little list put together of guys that he wanted to work with on the independents, and he went out and he worked his ass off on the independents to rebuild his name, because let's face it, Stardust was not a draw. So him going back out on the indies, he probably wasn't commanding a huge paycheck, and it was his goal to work everywhere, literally everywhere he could. He said he worked in bowling alley, I'm sure many high school gyms across the nation, every small level independent, nobody promotion, all the way up to Ring of Honor and New Japan with the Bullet Club. Tying up with the Young Bucks was the smartest thing he could do. Once he was out there having all these dream matches on the independent level, tying up with the Young Bucks, and of course we all know where that led. History was made as they all kind of made their move to AEW to start this company up. And it's weird to look back now, seeing Cody where he's at. It's almost like he belonged in WWE the whole time. That character feels out of place now in AEW. When you think back, that main event level superstar character that he presents, I think that's why he wasn't getting over in AEW. I mean, he was over. He was a star, but he was like, the crowd was kind of turning on him, They were over the whole, and he's like, I'm never going to turn babyface, and I'm never going to challenge for the title. And I feel like that created a situation where the fans just didn't want to really get behind him anymore. And he was out of place. He didn't fit in there. He's a superstar. And now that he's in WWE, it's kind of like he's always belonged there. It just feels right. He's just where he should be. And I'm 100% behind him, man. I love this run that he's on right now. I mean, obviously, he's, 2 matches in, so I shouldn't say it right now. But, I mean, his whole entire WWE return and what they've done with him and how they're using him, and he's a star, and he belongs at the top of the card, and he will be that guy that ends Roman Reigns. You know, clearly they're setting that up. I think that's exactly what's going to happen, and it's perfect storytelling. You know, they're getting to a point now where the bloodline's falling apart, right? Roman Reigns' dominance is falling apart, and that's going to cause him to be distracted and to lose confidence in himself and be upset, and just it's going to cause him to be distracted enough to where he's not going to be focusing. He's not going to have the family behind him. He's going to go in kind of in shambles, and Cody's going to scoop up that title from him and hopefully goddamn bring back the Winged Eagle. Been hearing rumors about that for a while now. Cody also, you know, set the record straight. I don't remember what show it was on. Like I said, he's done a lot of media rounds this week. But it's interesting to hear Cody talk about wanting to bring back the Winged Eagle title, and I really hope he does, but he made no bones about it. He's not saying he will. It's not a prediction. It's not a fact. It's just something that he thinks would probably be pretty cool. And look, he was the guy that brought back the classic Intercontinental title for a while, and we have heard rumors that WWE is looking at getting new belts made. I mean, I don't even know why you need new belts. Go big gold and Winged Eagle and call it a day. You don't need anything else. Those are the only 2 belts you need. I like this big blinged out WWE logo belt, actually. And I get why they have it. It's good. It looks good on the shoulder. It's good promotion and all that. But bring back that Winged Eagle for Cody's run. And I think he'll have a decent run. But who knows? Time will tell. Maybe they'll give him the old bone ski. And Roman will continue to reign supreme. But what are your thoughts on Cody Rhodes' entire run? How do you think he's doing? Do you think he's destined for the main event championship win at WrestleMania? Or do you think it's still Roman's time? What do you want to see? What do you think you'll see? Leave it in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next.
Let me tell you something, brother. You can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on this channel, dude. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother.